So a very warm welcome to you all. Welcome to the Buddhist Society. This is the lunchtime meditation session on Monday, the 29th of March. Just to say, I mentioned this last week, but let me mention it again today. It is effectively a year since the Buddhist Society closed. It closed this month, earlier in March, and we've been conducting these sessions and most of the other classes online ever since. And just to acknowledge that this year may have been a very difficult year for some of you, for many of you perhaps. And yeah, just to put that on the table, that's part of our story collectively here together. And that is what we're engaged with, witnessing together as an online Sangha. And very much what my reading today from Ajahn Sucitto has these sorts of considerations in mind. I'm going to continue reading from the book that I was reading from earlier this term and indeed last week. This is his book, Ajahn Sucitto's book called Meditation, A Way of Awakening. And in the last reading last week, he was looking at mindfulness and clear comprehension. And in this particular reading, I want to offer to you this afternoon, he makes the link between mindfulness and clear comprehension and kindness and how important that is in our meditation practice and indeed in how we conduct ourselves in relationship to ourselves in the rest of our lives. He also, in this reading, makes a clear connection between mindfulness and the other factors of awakening. This is an important point I wanted to sort of emphasize, and I think many teachers in this tradition will mention this. And that is that mindfulness has a lot of coverage in the secular world, and it's got a long history within Buddhist practice. But within Buddhist practice, it's important to recognize the context in which it sits. And that is to say, it is an important factor of awakening, but it is one of 7 factors of awakening. It doesn't sit on its own in isolation. So, on with the reading. Mindfulness is an initiator of the process of awakening. But it is not enough on its own. It puts us in a position where we can learn from the experience of riding the ball. That's Ajahn Sucitto's metaphor, sort of being consciously awake. Then we have to develop learning, capacity, strength, determination, and other qualities to clear hindrances and to steward the mind. So through this witnessing of our own particular conscious process, the mind develops in terms of factors of awakening. These factors are mindfulness, investigation of qualities, vigor, rapture, tranquility, concentration, and equanimity. So there you have it. He's just listed the 7 factors of awakening. And mindfulness is sitting as an important one of them, but only one of them. It operates in relationship to the other factors. It doesn't sit in isolation. They all issue from the heart with its aspiration, its inquiry and determination, as well as from a growing access to our potential for gladness, ease, stillness, and spaciousness. These flowerings of awakening, of the awakening process, are initiated by mindfulness because it connects directly to the heart rather than through some complicated notion of myself and what I should be. Then he goes on. This is Ajahn Sucitto continues to make the link between mindfulness and kindness. Generally, the development of mindfulness and clear comprehension will reveal residual tendencies towards anxiety, greed, and aversion, and even self-annihilation. So the work of clearing, of investigating, letting go, and firming the heart in stillness has to be accompanied by kindness as well as understanding. If you sustain an intent of in-depth kindness, that really helps allay negativity and judgmental attitudes about yourself and others. And there are further developments. As long as the heart connection of mindfulness is retained, you get more clear, courageous, and joyful. Then self-confidence and determination will arise. I think I'll leave it there because that makes the all-important connection of mindfulness with kindness. And with those considerations in mind, I invite you now to come to your meditation posture and just to sit and relax and perhaps ground your attention in your feet for a moment or two. And then just consciously settle, and in your own time, just connect with the breath. And we'll sit for about half an hour. So please feel free to stretch and take a sip of water and relax. Just to say, this is the last Monday session for this term. We reconvene on Monday, the 19th of April, and the Buddhist Society closes for an Easter break this coming Thursday. So Colin Ash's class, basic meditation class on Thursday evening at 6:30, I believe will be the last session for this term. And this class on Monday, the 19th of April, will be the first session of the new term. So it's just to clue you in to what's happening. The rest of the details you can find online on the Buddhist Society website. Thank you all very much for attending this term and this session. And I'm going to close, just to say the Buddhist Society really appreciates your presence on this online Sangha. Together we make a group that is really worth having and attending. And I really appreciate your presence. I'm going to close by reading the Metta Sutta. As I was saying at the beginning of this session, this has been a difficult year for many of us. And I have a sense that however much one grapples with the teachings in the Buddhist tradition, if one can connect with the energy of the Metta Sutta, nothing will be left out. So here it is, the Metta Sutta, and then I'll finish with the closing homage. This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm, and wise and skillful, not proud and demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove. Wishing, in gladness and in safety, may all beings be at ease. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none, through anger or ill will, wish harm upon another. Even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child, so with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, freed from hatred and ill will, whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness. One should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding. By not holding to fixed views, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is not born again into this world. The Lord, the perfectly enlightened and blessed one, I render homage to the Buddha, the Blessed One. The teachings so completely explained by him, I bow to the Dharma. The Blessed One's disciples who have practiced well, I bow to the Sangha. Thank you all very much. I wish you all a very good break and see you next term, I hope. Go well and be safe.